Representatives of Hamas, the US and Qatar are in Egypt as part of attempts to agree a 6-week ceasefire in Gaza. But Israel is pushing for a list of hostages still alive in Gaza before it'll send a delegation to the talks. Hamas says Israel must withdraw its forces before there can be a deal on hostages. Pressure for a truce has intensified since Thursday, when at least 112 people were killed as crowds rushed towards an aid convoy in the north of the territory amid Israeli army gunfire. Overnight, another Israeli strike on Rafah in the south killed 20 people, including twin babies, according to health officials and Gaza's civil defence. Our senior international correspondent Orla Guerin reports from Tel Aviv. You may find some of the images in her report upsetting.
A truce can't come soon enough. In Rafah, another day of harrowing loss. Palestinians mourn for 20 members of the Abu Ansa family, killed in their beds by an Israeli airstrike, according to hospital officials and Gaza's civil defence. Among the dead, 5-month-old twins, as old as the war, Naeem and Wissam, laid down gently with their relatives. Their mother, Rania, spent 10 years trying to have them and endured 3 rounds of IVF. Now all she can cradle is their baby clothes. I gave birth during the war, she says. It started on Saturday. I gave birth the next Friday. I didn't get enough of them. I swear, I didn't get enough. I have no one else, she says. They've gone with their father. We were sleeping, I swear. Israel continues to say it takes feasible precautions to lessen civilian harm. There were about 35 people in the house, says Farouk Abu Anza. Most of them children. There were no fighters. The house collapsed on them. 3 or 4 stories. In Israel too, families in anguish. Their loved ones trapped in tunnels in Gaza.
They need to be released now.
This weekend they've been pleading with their government to do a deal to bring the hostages back home.
Tawafer is a very warm person. You can see his smile. He's a family person. He has 4 children, lovely children.
How hard is this time for the families? This wait must seem endless.
It's like a hell, you know. We are in some of a loop since the October 7th. We are living this day every day again and again. We have only one goal all these days, to bring him back alive to his family, to his children. This is the only thing that matters.
But there will be no homecoming for Offer or any of the hostages without a ceasefire. And no respite for mothers like Rania burying their children in Gaza. I think it'll be several days before we know if there will be a deal or not. Israel is insisting on a list of the hostages who remain alive. Hamas is insisting it can't provide that information while the war continues and says anyway it's not holding all of the hostages. Both sides are clearly still trying to drive the hardest bargain that they can, but it's also very clear that there is immense international pressure, growing pressure, because there are 30,000 Palestinians who have been killed and there are increasing fears about starvation in Gaza. And here in Israel, hostage families have been telling us that if the government does not agree a truce, it amounts to giving a death sentence to their loved ones. So there are reasons for both sides to want to do a deal. That said, there's no guarantee that we will actually get one.